Good afternoon all. This is your next lecture of digital communication, that is 14th lecture. Here we have to cover the topic Viterbi algorithm. Okay, it's decoding also, history part, what is algorithm, pseudocoding and all the topics. And now without wasting our time we will start with the lecture. Viterbi algorithm is there. The Viterbi algorithm is a dynamic programming algorithm for obtaining the maximum posterior probability estimate of the most likely sequence of hidden states called the Viterbi path that results in a sequence of observed events, especially in the context of Markov information sources and hidden Markov models (HMM). The algorithm has found universal application in decoding. The algorithm has found universal application in decoding the convolutional codes used in both CDMA and GSM digital cellular, dial-up modems, satellite, deep space communications, and 802.11 wireless LANs. Okay, it is now also commonly used in space recognition, speech synthesis, direct diarization, keyword spotting, computational languages, and bioinformatics. Okay, for example, in speech to text, the acoustic signal is treated as the observed sequence of events, and a string of text is considered to be the hidden cause of the acoustic signal. The Viterbi algorithm finds the most likely string of text given the acoustic signal. Here is the history of Viterbi algorithm. Okay, where Viterbi algorithm name is and all what. Okay, the Viterbi algorithm is named after Andrew Viterbi, who proposed it in 1967 as a decoding algorithm for convolutional codes over noisy digital communication links. It has, however, a history of multiple inventions, with at least seven independent discoveries, including those by Viterbi, Needleman, and Vincent, and Wagner and Fischer. Okay, it was introduced to normal language processing as a method of part of speech tagging as early as 1987. Viterbi path and Viterbi algorithm has become standard term for application of dynamic programming algorithm. Okay, to maximization problem involve probabilities. For example, in statistical parsing, a dynamic programming algorithm can be used to discover the single most likely context free derivation of a string, which is commonly called the Viterbi parse. Another application is in target tracking, where the track is computed that assign a maximum likelihood to a sequence of observations. Okay, next is extensions. A, a generalization of a Viterbi algorithm term the max sum algorithm or max product algorithm can be used to find the most likely assignment of all or some subset of latent variables in a large number of graphical models. Example, Bayesian networks, Markov random fields, and conditional random fields are there. The latent variable needs in general to be connected in a way somewhat similar to an HMM with a limited number of connections between variables and some type of linear structures among the variables. The general algorithm involves message passing and it's substantially similar to the belief propagation algorithm, which is the generalization of the forward backward algorithm. With the algorithm called iterative Viterbi decoding, one can find the subsequence of an observation that matches the best, on average, to a given hidden Markov model. This algorithm is proposed by Q.I. Wang et al. To deal with turbo code. Iterative Viterbi decoding work by iteratively invoking a modified Viterbi algorithm, re-estimating the score for a filler until coverage. An alternative algorithm, the lazy Viterbi algorithm, has been proposed for many applications of practical interest under reasonable noise conditions. Okay, the lazy decoder using lazy Viterbi algorithm is much faster than the original Viterbi decoder using Viterbi algorithm, while the original Viterbi algorithm calculates every node in the trellis of possible outcomes. The lazy Viterbi algorithm maintains a prioritized list of nodes to evaluate in order, and the number of calculations required is typically fewer and never more than the ordinary Viterbi algorithm for the same result. However, it is not so easy to parallelize in hardware. This is pseudocode, okay? This algorithm generates a path, which is the sequence of states are there that generate the observations with where is the number of possible observation in the observation space. Two-dimensional table of size are constructed. Each element of store the probability of the most likely path so far with that generates. Okay, each element of stores of the most likely path so far the table entities are filled by increasing order of width and as defined below. Note that does not need to appear in the later expressions as its non-negative and independence of and those does not affect the Agmax input. Clear? First is the observation space, second one is the state space, third one is an array of initial probabilities such that stores the probability that a sequence of observation such that if the observation at time, okay, next is transition matrix of size such that stores the transition probability of trending from state to state. Second is emission matrix of size such that stores the probability of observing from state output the most likely hidden state sequence is there. Okay, look at here. Function Viterbi. For each state, do and for each observation, do each state, do for and end for. Okay. Return and end function is there restricted in a session near Python. Suppose we are given a hidden Markov model HMM with state space, initial probability of being in state and transition probability of transitioning from state to state. Say we observe output the most likely state sequence that produces the observation in given by the recurrence relations. Here is the probability of the most probable state sequence responsible for the first observation that have as its final state. Okay, the vitamin path can be retrieved by saving back pointers that reminder which state was used in the second equation. Let be the function that return the value of used to compute if or if then. Okay, we were using the standard definition of argmax. The complexity of this implementation is a better emission estimation exists if the maximum in the internal loop is instead found by iterating only over states that directly link to the current state. That is, there is an edge from dash dash to dash dash. This is using amortized analysis. One can show that the complexity is okay. Example: example is consider a village where all villagers are either healthy or have a fever, and only the village doctors can determine whether each has fever. The doctor diagnoses fever by asking patients how they feel. The villagers may only answer that they feel normal, dizzy, or cold. Okay, the doctor believes that the health condition of his patient operate as a discrete Markov chain. There are two states, healthy and fever, but the doctor cannot observe them directly. They are hidden from him. On each day, they, there is a certain chance that the patient will tell the doctor he is normal, cold, or dizzy, depending on his health condition. The observation is normal, cold, or dizzy, along with a hidden state, healthy fever. Okay, from a hidden Markov model HMM, and can be represented by following in the Python programming language. Here is the program. OBS is equals to normal, comma cold, comma dizzy. These are the three conditions. States are healthy and fever. Start P, healthy 0.6, fever 0.4. Trans P, healthy 0.7, fever 0.3. Fever healthy 0.4, fever 0.6. Emit P, healthy normal 0.5, cold 0.4, dizzy 0.1, dc 0.1, fever normal 0.1, cold 0.3, dc 0.6 is there. In this piece of code, start P represents the doctor's belief about which state the HMM in the when the patient first visit. Okay, all he knows is that the patient tends to be healthy. The particular probability distribution used here is not the equilibrium one, which is given the transition probability is approximately healthy 0.57, fever 0.43. The transmission P represents the change of healthy condition in the underlying molecule chain. In this example, there is only a 30% chance that tomorrow the patient will have a fever if he is healthy today. The image P represents how likely each possible observation normal, cold or dizzy is given their underlying conditions. Okay, healthy or fever. If the patient is healthy, there is a 50% chance that he feel normal. If he was has a fever, there is a 60% chance that he feels dizzy. Here is the graphical representation of given HMM. Observe this. The patient received 3 days in a row, and the doctor discovered that one on the first day he feel normal, on the second day he feel cold, on the third day he feel dizzy. The doctor has questioned what is most likely sequence of health condition of patient that would explain these observations? This is answered by Viterbi algorithm. DEF Viterbi OBS state start P. Okay. Then trans P image P. V is bracket inside the bracket for ST is states. V0 ST prop start PST emits PST OBS 0 previous none. Okay, this is the example. Observe this on every line of Viterbi algorithm. The function Viterbi takes the following argument. Okay, OBS is the sequence of observations, example normal, cold, and dizzy. Then state is the set of hidden states. Start P is the start probability. Trans P are the transition probabilities, and emit P is the emission probabilities. For simplicity of code, we assume that the observation sequence OBS is non-empty and that trans P ij and emits P and j is defined for all states I and j. In the running example, the forward Viterbi algorithm is used as follows: Viterbi OBS state start P, trans P, and emit P. The output of the script is Python Viterbi example. Here, healthy is 0.3 30,000, 0.08400, 0.00588. The steps of states are healthy fever with highest probability of 0.01512. This reveals that the observation normal, cold or dizzy were most likely generated by states healthy fever. In other words, given the observed activity by the patient was the most likely to have been healthy both on the first day when he felt normal as well as on the second day when he felt cold, and then he constructed a fever in third day. The operation of Viterbi algorithm can be visualized by means of a trellis diagram. The Viterbi path is essential, the shortest path through this trellis. So output Viterbi algorithm, the soft output Viterbi algorithm is a variant of all the classic Viterbi algorithm. SOVA means soft output Viterbi algorithm differs from the classical Viterbi algorithm in that it uses a modified path metric which takes into account the prior probabilities of the input symbol and produces a soft output indicating the reliability of the decision. The first step in the soft output Viterbi algorithm is the selection of the survivor path passing through one unique node at each time instant. Since each node has two branches converging at it with one branch being chosen to from the surveyor path and the other being discarded, the difference in the branches matrix between the chosen and discarded branches indicates the amount of error in the choice. This cost is accumulated over the entire sliding window, usually equals at least few contents length to indicate the soft output means of reliability of heartbeat decision of the Viterbi algorithm. Viterbi decoder is the Viterbi decoder uses the Viterbi algorithm for decoding a bit stream that has been encoded using a convolutional code or trellis code. There are other algorithms for decoding a convolutionally encoded stream, for example, the Fano algorithm. The Viterbi algorithm is the most resources consuming. Does it maximum likelihood decoding. It is most often used for decoding convolutional code with constant length k is less than 3, but value up to k is equals to 15 are used in practice. Okay, there are both hardware in modem and software implementation of the Viterbi decoder. Viterbi decoding is used in the iterative Viterbi decoding algorithm. Implementation issues are there. Quantization for soft decision decoding. In order to fully exploit benefits of soft decision decoding, one needs to quantize the input signal properly. The optimal quantization zone width is defined by the following formula, where is the noise powerful distinct density and k is the number of bits for soft decision. The squared norms distance between the received and the actual symbol is the code alphabet. May be further simplified into a linear sum difference from form which make it less compulsory computationally intensive. Consider a half convolutional coder which generates 2 bits 00011011 for every input bit 0 or 1. These returns to 0 signal are transmitted into a non-return to zinger 0 non-return to 0 from shown alongside. Okay, code alphabet capital mapping is that 00011011 for 00 it is plus 1 plus 1, 01 plus 1 minus 1, for 1 it is minus 1, for 0 it is plus 1. Observe this carefully. Each received symbols can be represented in vector form as Vr is equals to R0 R1, where R0 and R1 are soft decision value whose magnitudes signify the joint reliability for received vector Vr. Each symbol in the code alphabet may likewise be represented by the vector I is equals to plus minus 1 plus minus 1. Okay, the actual computation of the Euclidean distance metric is each square term is a normal distance dissipating the energy of a symbol. For example, the energy of the symbol yi is equals to plus minus 1 plus minus 1 may be computed as thus the energy term of the symbol in the code alphabet is constant. Okay, the add compare select ACS operations compares the metric distance between the received symbol VR and any two symbol in the code alphabet whose path merge at a node in the corresponding trellis Vi raised to 0 and Vi raised to 1. This is equivalent to comparing and but from above we know that the energy of VR is constant equals to normalized value of 2 and the energy of VR is the same as the both cases. This reduces the comparison to a minima function between two dot product term. Since since a minimum operation on negative numbers may be interpreted as equivalent maximum operations and positive quantities, each dot product term may be expanded as where the sign of each term depends on the symbols Vr is to 0 and Vr is to 1 being compared. This is squared Euclidean matrix distance calculation. To compute the branches matrix may be performed with the simple add sub operation. Trackbase. The general approach to trackback is to accumulate the path matrix for up to 5 times the constraint length 5k minus 1. Find the node with the large accumulated cost and being tracked back from this node. The commonly used rule of thumb of a transaction depth of 5 times the memory constraint length k minus 1 of a convolutional code is accurate only for read half codes. For an arbitrary rate, an accurate rate of thumb is 2.5 k minus 1 1 minus r, where r is the code rate. However, computing the node which has accumulated the largest cost, either the largest or smallest integral part matrix, involves finding the maxima or minima of several, usually 2 raised to k minus 1 numbers, which may be time consuming when implemented on embedded hardware system. Most communication systems employ Viterbi decoding involving data packets of fixed size with a fixed bit per byte pattern either at the beginning or end and at the end of the data packet by using the non-bit byte pattern as reference. The start node may be set to a fixed value, thereby obtaining a perfect maximum likelihood path during trace back. Limitations of Viterbi algorithm decoding is a physical implementation of a Viterbi decoder will be yield an exact maximum likelihood sting due to quantization of the input signal, branch and path matrix and finite trackback length. Practical implementation do approach with 1 dB of the idea. The output of a Viterbi decoder when decoding a message managed by the active program channel has error prepared in error burst, single error connection codes along can't correct such bursts, so either the convolutional codes and the Viterbi decoder must be designed powerful enough to drive down errors to a compatible rate. On burst error correcting codes must be used. Decoding, okay, Viterbi decoding. There are several different approaches to decoding of convolutional code. These are grouped in two basic categories. First one is sequential decoding, that is Fano algorithm. And second one is maximum likelihood decoding, that is Viterbi decoding. Both of these methods represent two different approaches to the same basic idea behind decoding. The basic idea behind decoding is assume that 3 bits were sent via or read half code. We receive 6 bits ignore flush bits from now. These 6 bits may or may not have errors. We know from the encoding processes that these bits map uniquely. So a 3-bit sequence will have a unique 6-bit output, but due to errors, we can receive any and all possible combinations of 6 bits. Here the permutation of 3 input bits results in 8 possible input sequences. Each of these has a unique mapping to a 6-bit output sequence by the code. These form the set of permissible sequence and the decoder task is to determine which one was sent. Okay, this table is for bit agreement used as a metric to decide between the received sequence and the 8 possible valid code sequences. Let's say we receive 111100. Okay, it is not one of the 8 possible sequence above. How do we decode it? We can do two things. Okay, first one is we can compare this receive sequence to all permissible sequence which pick the one with the smallest Hamming distance or bit disagreement. Second is we can do a correction and pick the sequence with the best correlation. The first procedure is usually the first procedure is basically what is behind hard decision decoding, and the second, the soft decision decoding. This the bit agreement. Also, the dot product between the received sequence and the code word shown that we still get an ambitious answers and do not know what was said. As the number of bits increases, the number of calculations required to do decoding in this brute force manners increases such that it is no longer practical to do decoding this way. We need to find a more efficient method that does not examine all options and has a way of resolving ambiguity such as here where we have two possible answers. Okay, shown in bold in table 4, bold in table 4. This is table 4. Huh? If a message of length yes bits is received, then the possible number of code words are 2 raised to yes. How we how can we decode the sequence without checking each and every one of these 2 raised to yes code words? This is the basic idea behind the decoding. Maximum likelihood and Viterbi decoding. Viterbi decoding is the more best known implementation of the maximum likelihood decoding. Here we narrow the options systematically at each time state. The principle used to reduce the choice it has this. First one is it the error occurs eco-friendly. Infrequently, the probability of error is small. The probability of two errors in a row is much smaller than the single error, that is, the error are distributed randomly. The Viterbi decoder examines an entirely receive sequence of a given length. The decoder computes metrics for each path and make the decision based on this metric. All paths are followed until no paths cover on the one node. Then the path with the higher metric is kept and one with lower metric is discarded. These paths selected are called as a survivor. For an n bit sequence, total number of possible receive sequences are 2 raised to n. Of these, only 2 kn are valid. The Viterbi algorithm applies the maximum likelihood principle to limit the comparison of 2 to the power of kl surviving path instead of checking all paths. The most common metric used in Hamming distance matrix. The most common metric used in the Hamming distance metric. This is just the dot product between the received code word and the allowable code word. Other metrics are also used and we will take about these later. Each branch has a Hamming metric depending on what was received and the valid code word at that state. Here's the table. First column is bit received, valid code word, Hamming Hamming metric 2. This is the metric are cumulative so that the path with the largest total metric is the final winner. But all of this does not make much sense until you see the algorithm in operation. Let's decode the received sequence 011101110110 using Viterbi decoding. Add 0 is equals to t is equals to 0. We have received bit 01. The decoder always starts at state 000. From this point it has two paths available but neither matches the incoming bits. The decoder computes the branch matrix for both of these and will continue simultaneously along both of these branches in contrast to the sequential decoding where a choice is made at every decision point. The metric for both to the sequential decoding where a choice is made at every decision point. The metric for both branches is equals to 1, which means that one of the two bits was matches with the incoming bits. Here is the Viterbi decoding step 1 is there. At t is equals to 1, the decoder finds out the from these two possible states. So, to four states, the branch matrix for these branches were computed by looking at the agreement with the code word and the incoming bits were which are 1 1. The new metric is shown on the right of the trellis. See here, step 2 is there. At t is equals to 2, the four states have fun out to 8 to show all the possible paths. The path metric calculated format 01 and added to previous metric 01 is there. See here. What happened next? At t is equals to 4, the trellis is fully populated. Each node has at least one path coming into it. The metrics are as shown in the figure above. At t is equals to 5, the path progress forward and now begin to converge on the node. Two metrics are given for each coming into a node. For the maximum likely principle at each node, we discard the path with the lower metric because it is least likely. This discarding of path at each node helps to reduce the number of paths that have to be examined and give the recursive method in strength. Now at each node we have one or more path covering the matrix. All the paths are given on the right at each node. We keep only the path with the highest matrix. And discard all other shown in red color. After discarding the path the with the smaller matrix, we have the following path left. The matrix is that the winner path. At t is equals to 5, after discarding the path as shown, we again go forward and compute new matrix at the next node given the path coverage, and again we discard these with the lower matrix. At t is equals to 6, the received bits are 1 1. Again, the metrics are computed for all paths. We discard all smaller metrics, but they keep both if they are equal. Okay, this is all about the seventh step. Release is complete. We now look at the path with the highest metrics. We have a winner path. The path traced by 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 and corresponding to bits 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 is the decoded sequence, right? The length of the release was 4 bits plus m bits. Ideally, this be equals to the length of the message, but by a transaction process, storage requirements can be reduced and decoding need not to delay until the end of the transmitted sequence. Typical transaction length for convolutional order is 128 bits or 5 to 7 times the constant length. Viterbi decoding is quite important since it also applies to decoding of block codes. This form of trellis decoding is also used for trellis code modulation. Clear? This is all about the decoding process for Viterbi decoding. Observe this. This one is first step, okay, and this one is second step for input 0 1. This is third step. This is fourth step. This is fifth step. See and observe all the things. This is sixth, where all the paths are discarded shown in blue. This one is seventh step. Right? Clear, study well and be prepared for exam. Thank you for today's lecture.